wanted to do some more traveling in August, just around Australia, and I had two opportunities emerge for August. One was a fly in, fly out collaboration type thing, and the other was van life it up and drive all over the place. And I'm having a weird moment in my life right now because I think I might choose neither. It's very likely that I will just continue to work on my career and setting myself up for this next chapter, because the investment's going to be heavy if I want to travel. It's one thing that I don't think I can justify anymore. Like, I'm not young enough anymore to waste so much money on travel. I'm glad that I did though. Like, when I was way younger, I just did everything that I wanted to do. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, get some foundations built. You're way too old to be saving up all your money and then blowing it all, and then saving up all your money and blowing it all. Like, we need a bit more of a mature approach now. And it's weird because I'm like, I'm not a grown up. I'm not mature. Like, I'm reacting to it. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why aren't I just being free and reckless and having fun? But I know why. It's because I have seen what's available for me if I do grow up. And it's impossible to experience certain things in this world if you do avoid growing up forever. It always feels like a trade-off. Like, somehow you're gonna miss out. But you don't really. You always get 100% present moment, regardless of how you use it. So how I choose to use the present moment is all up to me. I think I've just gone from instant gratification in my youth to extremely delayed gratification now at like the age of 31. And I think I'm going to find my way back to some kind of balance. But I've been... It's all about delayed gratification at the moment. People are pointing out to me, like, do you do anything fun? Like, I'm like, sure, I enjoy the things that I do. But they're like, those things are such basic, simple pleasures, you know? Isn't that great, though, that I can just enjoy almost nothing? Like, I don't need heaps to be happy. And then why would I go on some ridiculous adventure and spend all of my money on pleasures again and throw all of that out of balance as well? It's not even a matter of delaying gratification so that I can get what I want in the future. It's also a matter of, like, if you spend 6 weeks traveling around Australia in a van and just doing everything that you love, then you got to come back and, like, learn to love being at work again and everything. And I'm on a bit of a roll with that at the moment, so it's definitely a part of me that says, like, you're falling into the trap. You're becoming everything that you feared. You're becoming a part of the system. Another one of the drones. Go to work, come home, go to sleep, go to work, come home, go to sleep. I'm not afraid of that anymore, though. I like contributing. I was at getting a haircut today. It's like a little family business. I say little, but they're actually crushing it, like these people. And it's a different culture, these people. And I noticed that like a big part of the culture is work, like just getting work done, doing work. And they all do 2 or 3 jobs in businesses that are owned by, like, it's like a big extended family network, and they just all work, and like that's what life's about. So they all become wealthy and successful together, and they kind of just like enjoy life and laugh about how much abundance and success they all have. Like finding somewhere where you can just do your work that feels good, like that is so underrated. Especially, I don't know, like I think I hated the idea of going to work because I kind of just took the first job I could get when I was younger, and it had no meaning to me, and I didn't have any meaningful relationships with the people that I worked with. I hated everybody that I worked with. It just seemed like they were all very negative, nasty, like grumpy people, and it didn't make me feel good to be in those environments. And the work, I felt like we were contributing negatively like to the planet and to society. Like it was just like the kinds of labouring jobs where you're just a shit kicker, like making pavers or spray painting beams all day, or hatching chickens was one of my jobs, or slaughtering chickens was another one of my jobs at separate times in my life. Those kinds of jobs, they don't really make you excited to be alive, or make you even feel like a moderate sense of contribution. You just feel like this is what I must do to survive. Whereas now I think of work as like something that I want to do, that I enjoy, that I learn and grow from, and the money and income that keeps the food on the table is secondary. That's a much nicer way to be. But like if you had the values of these people that run the place where I get my hair cut, like, and it was all about work and contribution in that way, you would never need or want anything, because you'd always have abundance, because one of your core principles for being is just go to work, do work. How simple that becomes when you just find your spot and you just do your thing. And another thing that I always felt was that I didn't have any time. Like I hated going to work when I was younger because I felt like I didn't have any time, even though it was like 40 hours a week max. I was thinking like, oh, that's my whole week gone. It's like I don't have any time to do anything fun. Whereas now I work like double that, triple that, and I still find more time than I used to think that I had back then. So it's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? Like I could even go and do this 6 weeks holiday, 2 weeks if I do the fly in, fly out version, and I would still have 10 times more abundance than I need. Like, that is incredible. Like I had 4 months off last year. Like off, I say off, but it was like personal development, training courses, doing other things that weren't earning me money, but they were earning me value. Like I was growing as a person and getting new skills and abilities. And I still managed to like make more money than I've ever made before. Like, it's like time is, it's more malleable than we think it is, like our schedules and what we can do with it. And it's as soon as I started to think like I can make time for things to take place that I want, like, and I just didn't take no for an answer kind of thing. I was like, nah, I'm going to do all of the things that I want to do. I found places for all the things that I wanted to do. I had to eliminate a lot of stuff that I'm probably forgetting in the present moment. Like, there's no Netflix watching like marathons or any shit like that. Like, I got rid of my video game console like years and years ago now. Like, I've brought that up before, but I don't even know what else I was doing. Like, I have cut a lot of things that most people probably take for granted. Simplified like all of my domestic activities. Like, everything's very scheduled, runs like clockwork. It happens when it's supposed to happen. So what's coming up in this video journal right now for me that I'm noticing, maybe you're on a totally different thought train right now and I'm going to just derail it, but I'm noticing it's good, I'll give you a second to finish your thought first. So my younger self thought that freedom was all about not having any obligations, not having anything set in stone, not having any schedule, not having any plans. Like, I just wanted to be sporadic. I wanted to be spontaneous. I wanted to be just free to do whatever popped into my imagination instantly. Like, it's an unrealistic vision for what freedom looks like now that I understand the kind of freedom that I have now. So what my younger self thought freedom was like, no one tells me what to do, there's no obligation, total, like, there's no schedule, there's nothing, it's just imagine it and then do it. And now my older self is like actually way more free, but I have all of these obligations, so much scheduling, so many plans, so many commitments, so many promises, so many things that are set in stone. But I find that I have more time, like, so paradoxically, where I'm actually, it's free time still, where I can imagine something and then do it instantly. Like, the thing that I was trying to create for myself when I was younger, that where I was just like so against anything interfering with my freedom and I just wanted like no obligations. Like, I actually have that now because I've built in all of the obligations and schedules and everything, and I honor them. So, because when you try to be totally free and there's no schedule, there's no obligation, there's no commitment, then all of your time is subject to what, like, all the things that you need to do have to happen. Like, and if there's no plan, it's just going to happen like a train wreck. And not only is it going to be unpredictable so that you can't find moments of free time for yourself, but also it's going to create like emotional turbulence and destructive patterns and behaviors, and like fuck with your relationships and just mess your life up. And then that actually creates more obligation because then you've got to clean up all of your mess. And yeah, it took me until now to get to that. It took me a very long time, but definitely enjoying even just sitting here right now. Like, I have time to just sit in this nice warm winter sun and just relax. That's something that I didn't believe that I had when I was younger, because I was just trying to cram in a whole bunch of stuff that actually wasn't rewarding anyway. It was just like the young person's idea of what freedom looks like just go party and live to the max and spend all your money on dumb shit and, chase things that aren't good for you, all of that. I could do all that now if I wanted to, but it's like a video that I made recently about like abundance. Like, the key to abundance is like giving everything back, and then you'll have abundance because you don't have all this stuff that you're trying to maintain and sustain anymore. And then you reach a point in your life where you could actually afford the lifestyle that you used to be trying to emulate, and you just don't want it anymore. It's the same with time management. Like, the freedom that I thought that I wanted, it looks nothing like the freedom that I actually have now, and I'm really enjoying. So hopefully there's some kind of insight here for others. If you do enjoy these videos, please pass them on to anybody else you know who may benefit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the like button for me if you enjoyed this particular one. And kylives.com. I'm going to try to remember to mention the website as often as possible, just in case somebody goes there and they're like, oh, this is it. This is what I needed to see.